Yo, what up, what up? For HYPEBEAST Radio, this is Manny, and this is Soundcheck, a show that looks to discover the origin story of your favorite artists and major players in the music industry. We ask the questions that you always wanted to get answered, and you never know who may pop by. For episode 8, we talked to Currency in New Orleans. The hip-hop vet sits down and talks about the new generations of artists in hip-hop, continuing his Pilot Talk series, making music with Wiz Khalifa, and his come up and so much more. Welcome to Soundcheck. Thank you for being on this latest episode of Soundcheck.
Shit, man. All good.
Right now we in New Orleans on Canal Street.
Ah, wait, this is the guy? Amazing.
We're on Canal Street.
Wait, fam.
Describe what you see.
Well, right now, do you remember the commercial where the hamsters was driving that little car?
Yes, the car commercial, yeah.
Yeah, we see the hamster pulled a track runner. She was built like she ran track. I played volleyball. I just wasn't a fan of her footwear. She had raccoon fur Fenty slides. I don't think that Rihanna sanctioned those. I don't think they passed the Puma inspection. I don't know if that's the real joints out there.
Nice. Yeah, so we in New Orleans, your hometown.
Yep, and it's 97 degrees.
It's hot as hell right now.
97 degrees. My man's made a sacrifice. He walked down here all of maybe 2 blocks, but in 97 degrees, that's fucking 2 miles.
I lost 20 pounds of sweat.
You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing without sweating. You got to leave the crib. You see me get my shirts for the day?
Yes.
This is about how it works. Because by the time you do everything you need to do, you got to just keep peeling
need a couple of
shit
shirts.
off. Yeah, this is how you got to go through the day.
Smart. So yeah, I had to pull up because it's, New Orleans is only right. You one of the OGs out here.
I'm honored, man. I'm honored. That's
huge
cool,
fan
man.
of yours as well.
Thanks a lot, bro.
And it's been like a good year for you. You put out 4 projects so far?
Yeah, and that's light for me. But I think I was on the verge of saying, fuck rap.
Really?
Yeah, and just full time, just low riding and putting my homies' careers in position. Mm-hmm. And but I realized in order for that to work, there's certain things I have to do in the game first. Mm-hmm. Even though I was always too cool for school and tried to keep things underground so that I could live my life freely and just do what I want to do. But you can't do that when you have a record label and artists and people who want to become superstars. So there's certain accolades and certain things I need to do to make my light large enough to include all of my homies in it before I step out of the light and the light is theirs. So that's really what made me start laying tracks again, like putting projects that I had spoke on out again. That's why I was like, okay, back at Bernie's, we're talking about doing that. Yep. That's why I got with Harry Fraud to do a cigarette boats too, just not call it that, just to get back to right where I left off, I've been up and down with the game, even though I got my own little set of people that fuck with me, and I've been able to sustain my lifestyle because of that. But I'm also involved in the game because I was a fan at first, and it has turned into something that I think if I was a kid at the point, I wouldn't. This is not something I want to be. Because of how it looks, it's not tight. That's not what I fuck with.
What is how it looks to you now?
Well, it looks completely different than it's completely different than what we were raised on, what the game was. I mean, now it's more so special effects than the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It's like promoting a movie and not talking about the actor and the drama and what the plot could be. You know what I'm saying? In the trailer and in the commercial, all the press that you put out for the movie would be 500 explosions. We got 500 explosions. You know what I'm saying? You just keep talking about the other shit, but it's like what actually is. But what is it? What's going on? So that's what we got right now. I see a lot, but at the same on the same coin, it's also putting a lot of people in position to get bread, and I'm not no hater. So that's why I was like, rather than be one of those grumpy old men fighting windmills and fighting technology and fighting change, I was like, just let them have it.
Just let them step
you know
back.
What I'm saying? Like, just let them have it and see what it do. And actually, in me chilling, I realized a gang of those kids actually like was like, yo, we fuck with you. Like you know, I figured I could be myself because I watched you say fuck how everything was going and you did what you did. So I'm like, well, it's kind of the same, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? But it's like I was to make the music reflective of who I listen to and my influences and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And what I gotta realize, you know, these kids, they big brother they're not playing Camp Low, Nas, stuff like that. That was who we grew up, you know, that's what we got put on to, so that's what made us want to do it. Yeah. So it's another set of people that they watch, and it's like, okay, boom, I'm gonna bust my move and do that, you know. So you gotta let that go, you know what I'm saying? And when you blessed to have your own niche, then it don't matter what happened. Yeah. Because your people, like people that fuck with me, I've heard from like greats like Talib Kweli told me, he was like, man, like the people that listen to you only listen to you. Yeah. Like they're like, fuck anything, you know what I'm saying? If you have something, then you know, and that's why I've always been able to tell any label I was ever doing something with, no matter what was going on in the industry, they're like, oh, well, maybe we should hold this because such and such is coming out. I'm like, look, it don't matter. It don't really matter. This is going to do whatever it's going to do, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I got a different set of folks, you know, so.
Going back to the generational gap, I feel like the rappers now who's rapping, they probably grew up listening to you, which is ironic. Dig it.
And that's what I was saying. Yeah. Every time I run into a motherfucker, that's what they say to me. Like, dig, I didn't know Famous Dex. Yeah. I knew he fucked with Rich the Kid, and Rich is the homie. Before shit started cracking for Rich, I told him, I was like, don't trip, you know what I'm saying? Just keep matching. They're gonna catch on to what you're trying, you know, like what you're doing, and then people will, then you'll be able to put more motherfuckers in position, and it went exactly that way. And and I was at Rolling Loud something, and Dex was on one of those. It was on 2 carts. Yeah. And he jumped off that motherfucker. He like, bruh, like that's you, and it's you in real life. Like you know who you are. I'm like, dig, all right, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? And fucking like Uzi's the homie, Cardi's my homie too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I ain't even know. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the shit that we was doing in my apartment in the closet. Yeah. So I would think the furthest it got, I was excited if it got down here. Yeah. You know, if it made it to somebody on Canal Street played it in their car. Yeah. I felt like that was Billboard fucking 100. Yeah. So you weigh where you at and you hearing that shit, and it made you decide like, all right, I'm in school right now, but I actually want to bust this kind of move. And there's a hell of young niggas just getting paper, and that's why me and Wiz decided to bring 2009 out and do the How Fly 2 again, because a lot of the little homies, we was the ones, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, we was the ones, so I'm like, damn, man, especially like with the negative shit that's surrounding their generation and the music and the choice of drugs and shit like that. Like me and my partner, all we did was smoke weed. Like that's it, you know what I'm saying? And we made it. So I mean, actually, you know, if I could do anything, that's my only gripe with it. I don't care how small your pants are, how many holes you got in your shirt or pants, or what color your hair and shit. I done got over all that. I used to trip. Was like, look, man, everybody is supposed to wear Dickies and a chain, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what the fuck it's supposed to be. So it was shocking for me, you know, but then I'm like, nah, you know what? Like, the way I look the way we was dressing, they wasn't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers used to tell me and we're like, put our socks down. And it's just like, why you got a crew neck sweater on with shorts? Are you hot? Are you cold? Like, what's going on? It's like, damn, this is just what the fuck I look like.
Yeah.
I want to wear this, you know? So you can't trip. That's what it has turned into, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And you can't play, because I done seen some of them dudes, motherfuckers that have a purse on and a beat a nigga ass with a fucking boxer outfit on. So ain't no. You seen some of the same shit, boy. Don't play with it.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
So it's cool. Maybe some of them do that shit just to bait people in so they could kick somebody's ass.
Yeah.
Fuck, just so they can have an opportunity to flex their fucking skills. I don't know. Fuck.
What made you unretired? Is that the right word?
Dig. It wasn't retiring.
Yeah.
I just was like, I will drop an album. How rappers put out a project a year and fall back. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not work to me. But for all the work, for all the recording and stuff I do, at some time I feel like it's falling on deaf ears. So I'm like, for all the work I'm doing, I might as well just cut it down and put out one project to give people time to even catch on to it. You know, I still got people who like just heard 11:30. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't know there was a 10:30 or 9:30. You know what I'm saying? Like just shit like that. And then I see when they find those. It's the same with me and Max B. Max B been locked up forever. I still find songs that I didn't hear because of how much shit he was putting out. But that's why I fucked with him, because of the volume of music he was putting out. So that's why I record that much too, because I think about the 15 people who are watching every move and constantly giving them records, and then the other ones will catch up and find, you know.
Gotcha.
They'll get it when they get it. It's always good when they do, because when people like hit me on Twitter and like, damn, I feel bad, bro, I slept on you. I didn't even know you was rapping after where the cash at. And then I'm like, no problem. I'm like, whatever, like, what did you hear? They're like, I just heard Marine EP. I'm like, that's the only thing you heard? Awesome. There's fucking 10 years worth of shit for you. Like, don't even worry about it. Tweet me after you fucking see what happened, you know? So it's a good thing.
Nice. So what are you recording now? You just put out a project last month. I
just dropped Marine EP with Harry Fraud.
Yeah.
I have a Marine EP remixes where I sent some of the joints to a few people who I wanted to hear what they would do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had everybody all up in arms in my comments because I fucking put Yachty on one of them. But that's fucking the homie, and I feel like he can rap. Lil Yachty can rap. You have to listen to it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you play it back and hear like the structure of shit, dude can spit. So that's why I did it, because there's people who respect how I feel, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And they were shook up. They had people like, man, Spitta, I ride with you all the time, but this, I don't know, you know? So that's why I was like, I gotta do that so that they could see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just something I wanted for the homies, so motherfuckers who real sticklers and shit and pride themselves on listening to me because they feel like I kept it pure. They could see, you know, what the homie could do and not shut the door on them, you know what I'm saying?
As a fan, I have to ask, will you ever continue put out another Pilot Talk?
Yeah, it's already done. Pilot Talk, we recorded Pilot Talk 4 when I was on tour. Yeah, we did every big city that had a dope studio. We recorded. We got like 19 records on there.
Wow.
Like, yeah, all me and Ski.
Wow.
Yeah, and he got we had Gene from Monster Beats on tour with us playing live bass and shit.
Nice.
So that's important to Ski, and being able to have somebody right there to strum out whatever he was thinking, it was gold, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, I wish I had brought my laptop. I could definitely have played you some of that shit. But before you leave town, just come to the studio. I was gonna tell Musa that we should do this in the studio, but I thought you was on the schedule.
A little bit, but you know, I'm look.
Well,
you say come to the studio.
On some other shit, just come through. Yeah, just come through, man. We'll play some of that shit.
Yeah, I'm just happy that it's Pilot Talk 4.
Yeah, it's done.
I feel like Pilot Talk was such an important series, especially when Pilot Talk 1 came out. It was a huge moment.
It put me where where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the respect of people that I listened to.
Yeah.
As I was deciding what I wanted to do. And by recording Power Talk with Ski, he knew so many of those people. And he had never heard none of my music or nothing, but after like the first 2 days that we did shit, he was like, yo, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say you like Raekwon? Don't trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your favorite? You know, and like Dame was doing shit like that too. Just like, nah, who you like? Like, don't even worry about it. Like, they will probably love you. You know what I'm saying? Just bringing motherfuckers through. And that was big for me because it was like, as a kid, when you think you're going to go to like some professional league. Yeah. You look. I remember personally myself. I would look on the back of my basketball cards or football cards and see how old my favorite people were, and then I'm like, oh well, when I get drafted, this guy will still be there, so I'll play with this guy. I'll play with this guy. I'll play with this guy. So that's what that was like. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like fucking, I'm smoking a joint with Black Thought. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nice, nice.
Do you have like a favorite memory during the recording of like any of the Pilot Talks, like something that sticks out that you probably never told?
Snoop's verse on Seat Change.
Yeah.
I sent it to him. And I got it back while I was downstairs telling people that I sent it to him. Like, he didn't send it back next week. He didn't send it back the next day. It's like, oh, it's here? All right, yeah, pull it up. And before I finished telling motherfuckers I sent it to Snoop, you know what I'm saying? It already had popped back in the Gmail.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, that's fucking Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that was tight. And from then on, like, he knew of me, and I met him, like, when I was a kid, when I was, like, around No Limit and shit like that. But this was, seeing each other on that level and shit was different. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Also, 2009, that project never came out. It was just a song that came out a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, we had recorded 5 or 6 records that was gonna be the first half of that tape, and then we just decided to drop one record like as needed because we didn't think we would do it again. It's like, you know what? We did that already. When people seem like they've forgotten, we'll just drop records. But all that did was make people say, no. Are y'all gonna do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no matter what goes on in either of our lives, people still, are talking about that. So that's what we got to do.
It was like Shaq and Kobe.
Thank you, bro.
It was a wonderful, wonderful duo. I guess as of right now, what keeps you going creatively?
People telling me that they fuck with the music and telling me, not to quit, and telling me what the music means to them, and sharing their views on the game, on the industry, and letting me know, that that's how they feel. So when I say shit, they relate. So I'm like, damn, if I don't do it, that's gonna be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? For the people that's kind of leaning on it. So I had to keep going.
Nice. Tell me about the lowrider business you have.
Shit, it's not even the business. It's just legitimately all I do outside of rap. We got a car shop in the East, but that's like a body shop and shit like that. This is coming out our heart. Yeah, that's just a thing. When I hang the mic up for real, then I open a hydraulic shop and do shit. There's just a movement that I'm pushing out here in New Orleans because of I seen the impact it had on Los Angeles and it giving people something else to do whose lives was totally just every day wake up and gangbang till they go to sleep or unless they get killed, you know what I'm saying? And they weren't concerned if they did get killed because it's like, yo, all we really have to do is this anyway. Yeah. And then when that shit came around, motherfuckers was settling their differences through that. You know what I'm saying? Other people was burying differences, just like I would rather just roll than even trip, because once we trip, they gonna come and tell us we gotta move the cars. And that shit became so much tighter to them that it chilled a lot of shit out. The people who was shooting at each other on sight, riding on the same street, parking and eating at the same spot, and there's no big deal because I didn't know you fuck with that.
Nice.
So this town needs to chill out. So it's either push this or open the fucking Disney World out here. And I don't know how to do that, so we gonna push this whole ride. And kids like to see it, girls like it, dudes like girls, and girls don't like guns. So it all makes sense. Yeah.
When did you start like get into cars? Was that always a passion for you?
Yeah, man, since Hot Wheels. But soon as I had a rap check, I had lowrider. That was the first thing I did.
What's your favorite car?
My first cash money check. No limit money. I bought like real cars, but the first time I had a surplus of money, like this is the bills and this is still right here, I threw it all in the trash. I fucking bought it immediately. Yep.
What's your favorite car?
Man, 64 Impala. Yeah. 64 Impala and 96 Impala. That's my two favorite cars.
Nice.
Yeah. Foreign stuff is it's cool, but it's not on my radar. I get a lot of that shit just to reassure my listeners that I'm not under the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of, I always say that's just a way to keep score.
Yeah.
You know, and it definitely affects things. Like, just I remember years back when I bought my Ferrari, my show price, we changed my show price.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know what I'm saying? Because I got a Ferrari. It's like, well, nah, they see you have it. Yeah. So now we're going to tell the promoter this, you know what I'm saying? And now, like, that's how that shit works. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's
crazy.
Interesting.
People who were aware of me making music and kind of and respected the hustle but weren't listening, and then started listening because I bought a Rolls Royce. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of shit. It literally is levels to it. Yeah. People might dig you and they can't fuck with you until they know that you could do what they could do, or you on a level that you could be there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like it's legit. It's a Rolex club. Yeah. You know, because a motherfucker with a presidential on is gonna be like, oh no, that's like the first Rolex out now. Yeah. Let's go shoot pool over here. And you know, even though he did do something, he didn't do it all. So fuck him till he get over here. And that's how it be.
It's so crazy because I was just thinking about this the other day, how like all these new rappers, I feel like when they make it, they get like a Goyard bag. They get like something.
It's a kit. You have to have it because if you don't, you can't even take pictures with those guys. Wow. That shit is right now. It's at that. It's the clout chase. Yeah. And see, I remember, like, clout. People said that forever, but at this point, it's
clout wars.
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness. It kills.
It really do.
The clout chase destroys lives. You know, we from a time where motherfuckers was building their shit up on their own, and you was the man because you was the man. Now it's like you the man because you punched dude when he walked out and wasn't looking, and now it's on tape. And even though that was a sucker move, let's buy your tape tomorrow. Like, if your mixtape is ready tomorrow, then you on. Yeah. Slap him tonight. Have your shit mixed down tomorrow and you ready. You ready. If you take a week to get it mixed, you done because somebody else is gonna kick your ass or something, and it's on for them, and they'll have their shit ready. Yeah, it's more gimmicks than lyrics. I say that shit all the time.
Definitely.
That's where it's at right now.
Yeah, your timeline is really interesting because you work with you work with greats. You went on your own. You got your own brand and label. Like just I guess just give me like a brief timeline where you started from Bro. No Limit days to now.
Yeah, it's crazy because you would think I was 100. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is he like a vampire? Because it's the same guy. Yeah. Like, but that's legitimately how that shit went, man. Yeah. And really, I can just attribute it to, and not attribute because that's only a good word. Not credit either. But that's the end result of crime in my city. and how murderous the town was at the time when I was younger. And it's worse now, but at this time when I was trying to do my thing, everybody who I was in business with or making moves with, the street took them every time. So before you even heard of me, like when I was the little homie, like writing at school sometime and thinking about if I wanted to rap, the one homie who was like, nah, you should do this shit. I'm gonna put XYZ behind you. We gonna do it. Okay. Day after that conversation happened, he goes to jail. So all right. So my mom is right there like, that's why you need to focus on school. Fuck that shit you was telling me. Walk down to school and finish what you was doing. So all right. Then get out of school and fucking like for the summer, and another homie was like, all right, we're gonna do this. Then he gets killed, so it's like, all right, so go back to school, finish up, boom, 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 boom. Fucking a friend of Master P started a record label, and then he's killed, and then so C Murder steps in, and he's like, man, you know, I got you. Then they think he kills a kid, and then so he's done, and fucking shit, what was after that? Master P. Master P stepped in on the strength of me fucking with C, but I wanted to do some other shit at that point. I had already had it in my mind. I think I wanted to do my own thing. So when I stepped away from No Limit, it was cool because it was family. Just like, I'm about to just do my thing. You know what I'm saying? If my thing is even rap, like I'm gonna fuck with this for 2 more weeks and then fuck it, like don't even trip. And me doing that, that's when I ran into Wayne one day at the gas station and just told him, I was like, yeah, man, I don't even know what I'm doing with this shit. Like I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? And dude was like, bro, come to Miami tomorrow. Like, you tripping. And then that's when we went out there and I did like 8 records that night with homie. And so then we, you know, then that turned to be that. And I started having fun with it again. But I knew ultimately, you know, if I'm really gonna do this, I gotta do it for myself, so that when I'm ready to push the button and say no, I could just push it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it worked out that way, and everything was all good. I never had no issues with nobody I done no business with on that aspect. So that's cool to be able to still collab and do shit with people. Like I'm trying to see if I'm gonna be here for Peace Celebrity Game. In July, but if I'm in town, I'm gonna fuck with him for that. And then, you know, there's nothing to call Wayne or something for a verse and shit. No matter how fucking big of a megastar, he's always kept it funky with me and shot verses to me. A lot of people, like, who people have trouble attaining and people have to break their budgets on getting work from, genuinely just fuck with me on the strength. And that's a good thing. That's cool. Nice. Yeah, I get a lot of shit back. Like it's big to me when shit come back the same day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, cause I do that, but you know everybody not you. So just cause you keep it that funky, that's not. People don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And when people do that, I'm like, damn, you know, motherfucker, like you know, like 2 Chainz or something like that's the homie. And I could call that dude for a mixtape record, and he knows I'm the king of putting stuff out that's not gonna make money. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, thanks for this verse that you could have sold to Justin Bieber. You could have did a feature and sold it, but you just jumped on my fucking record for nothing, and you know I'm gonna put this out at midnight unmixed. Like, you know how I operate, and you just did you did the same caliber of verse you would give Kanye when he called you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Ross the same way. Like that's a lot of them dudes the same way with me, man, and that's cool. That's cool. Like, you know, being underground and a lot of people who, a lot of my folks feel like I get overlooked, and my answer is just the proof is when I reach out to somebody, because regardless of what level they playing on, what field they playing on, they still know, you know, they know about my movement and they know the impact that it have. So they gotta fuck with me.
Definitely. I want to talk about the city because I was driving around yesterday and the homie was explaining like post Katrina and how like a lot of the stuff, i.e. where Back That Ass Up was filmed, all the areas around there with Juvie, Louisiana, it's all changed. Like it's just totally 100% different.
Yeah, well, that probably was this. We don't know what goes on in meetings, but without a hurricane, the powers that be in the city was gonna make necessary moves to get the land in the places that they wanted to do what they want to do on. They want these condos and they want this shit in these areas, and that was gonna happen. It just so happened that Mother Nature sped it up and moved people out of the way, and long enough time for them to come in and even impose their shit. Like, even if you thought you was coming back to this motherfucker, nah, here's X amount, go over there. Or wouldn't you rather just be in Dallas? Wouldn't you rather be somewhere else? We could set you up, do that, you know what I'm saying? Then when you come back and see what, your farmer shit, what it is, they doing their thing. So, yeah, that I feel like that was going to happen either way. It just so happened that nature sped it up. So the powers had an excuse, you know what I'm saying, and a cloud of smoke to do their moves under. You know what I'm saying? They told everybody get the fuck and don't come back like until October anyway, and it happened in August. So by that time, they had already made the grid and the plan, Yeah.
And New Orleans got such a rich history of music, and it's just like that area where like some of your favorite rappers come from. It's like
it definitely watered down the tangible history, like that, like how they could show you, well, this was where they shot this, but it don't look like that, so we can't show you that, you know what I'm saying? But it also made people realize how important it was, and certain people in the city became superstars in the city because they are reminders of the era. It's like, damn, that's so, the place is gone, but he's still around. So that kind of shit made us band together a bit as a scene. So that's cool. And the industry, the mainstream, they know about the music and shit that comes out of this town. So
nice. And I guess lastly is if you can give advice to young rappers today, what would that advice be?
Do as much as you can for free, and it all can happen on the internet. I did it all with the white MacBook. It was stolen. My homie told me that some program at school was giving them MacBooks, all right, the white MacBook Pro, whatever that was called. It was just a MacBook. There was no Pro back then, huh? Just a white thing.
That's white joint.
That's Chris, Nate. So what I would do is just do as much as I can with that laptop. Your whole thing is reaching out to those publications and shit, all them blogs and all. You could do all that shit from the computer. As much as you could do on your own, you do that. And these big wigs, these suits, the motherfuckers who gotta write the checks, they know that the money that they'll give to you to bust those moves is safe because you was doing it on your own anyway. They see you making $100,000 a year, like out your trunk. They know they can't give you $500,000 because you already eating on your own without having to see them. Seeing them is a pain in the ass and inconvenience. You don't want to fucking go to these buildings and take the fucking elevator from 1 to 50 to go up there and have somebody tell you what your music's supposed to be like and shit. But the fucking bag they give you for that is a trade-off. It's work. So once you do a job, a motherfucker paying you because you sacrificing your free time. So once they cut that big ass check to you, you know what I'm saying, then you realize what it's about. So
nice. Awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you for doing this.
All good, bro.
Thank you. That's today's episode of Soundcheck, and if you haven't checked out Spitta's latest project, the Marina EP, check it out now. You can listen to more episodes of Soundcheck and keep up with everything HYPEBEAST Radio at hypebeast.com/radio. Subscribe to Soundcheck on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Overcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts on. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at ECM_LP and follow HYPEBEAST Music for more original content and music news. Let us know who you'd like to have on the show, and thank you for listening to Soundcheck.